everybody, welcome back to another video. Hope you guys are having a great day. Today we decided to film this one by the lake. It's a gorgeous day here in Georgia, so we're outside kind of enjoying it, and I'm sweating my butt off. So let's get started with this week's video here. This is going to be part 3 of preparing my Mustang for sale. So if you haven't watched the last 2 videos, go ahead and watch those. I'll link them in the video description, and I'll try to throw a little card up here somewhere. You guys can watch that. So this video is going to serve as kind of a overall modification video of my 2018 Mustang Ecoboost. So if a buyer is interested or something, they can watch this video and they'll know all the mods I have on it, the condition, all that fun stuff. So it is kind of crazy. We're getting to this point of selling this car because obviously this is the car that has started my channel, and I've done work on it over the last like 3 years. Which it's been a great car. The car currently has about 70,000 miles on it. It will go up a little bit because it is a daily driver. Right now it's actually just under 70,000 miles. But we're gonna first start with the front end of the car. We're gonna do the exterior walk around with you guys, and then I'll dive into the mods under the hood and go from there, and interior, of course. So the front half of the vehicle here, we have a couple different modifications I've done to it. The first thing that you're gonna see is the RTR grille, which this one is not the one with the LED lights in the grille here. This one's just the standard inserts, the black inserts. We also have the boosted badge there in orange, which is pretty nice. I liked that one a lot when I added that. I also have these little fins here that we added underneath the turn signals, which I think give it a pretty decent look. Moving down to the bottom of the vehicle, we have an RTR kind of look-alike front chin splitter. This isn't an authentic RTR lower chin splitter or whatever you want to call it, but it does look good. It bolted on great, and it's been pretty durable. There are a few little scratches and things, but I do have this lower custom grille on there that I did with like a wire mesh. But yeah, that's pretty much for the front of the car. Everything else, hood and all that stuff, stock, obviously. But we did do a couple little things to make it my own in the front. So moving along the side of the car here, guys, I took off the RTR wheels. I'm keeping those, and we're gonna be selling it with the stock 18-inch wheels. These are the premium wheels that you get on the Ecoboost and the GT for the 2018 through 2023, I believe. But you can see we do have my GT brake calipers here that I have painted in orange, which they do look a lot bigger with these smaller 18-inch wheels than they did on the 20-inch RTR wheels. So that was another modification I did, was the GT calipers and rotors. And speaking about the stance here real quick as well, I am lowered on the S&R lowering springs, S&R lowering springs all the way around. So it's about an inch lower than it would be on the stock ride height. So there is that. I do have the 25mm spacers I was originally running with these wheels, so I could throw those in for the buyer as well if they'd like that look. But moving along the side here, I did do the RTR style side skirt kind of extensions here, which it's kind of tough to see unless you get real close to it, but it does add a little bit extra to the side of the car. And we do finish out the rear kind of quarter here with an RTR style extension down here as well, which I think kind of is needed to blend it all together. Now, moving along the side of the rear, I'll have you come over here. There's a few things we can talk about here. Rear of the car, you're just gonna see the tips, which, it doesn't really show much, but I do have the Scavenger Y pipe on this car, and then we have the Flowmaster Outlaw axle back on this car as well, which I think gives it a good sound. Everyone's kind of different with that for the Ecoboost line, if they like it, if they hate it, but I actually really like it. I do have the Performance Pack rear spoiler that I added to this car as well. This was really cool. This was actually sent to me by a subscriber, which was awesome. And I had this paint matched to the car. So if you get in a little closer here, you can see the outside of this spoiler is paint matched gray. But if you flip around this side here, you'll see that the underside of the spoiler is actually black. So it's a two-tone kind of paint job here, which is pretty cool. I also blacked out the pony in the rear here as well, which I liked better. But other than that, the rear end, exterior-wise, is stock. So nothing too crazy there. The last thing I wanted to just point out on the exterior of the vehicle is going to be the mirrors. These are actually Suma Performance mirrors here. If you get in close on these, they actually have a bluish tint to them. And these actually increase the field of view by quite a lot, which is awesome. So when I first got this car, it was a little bit of an adjustment period looking out in those tiny little mirrors compared to what I had before. And these helped a ton. So with the exterior kind of being covered here, let's jump into the interior and we'll kind of go through what that looks like where we are there, and then we'll go under the hood and talk about the performance. All right, so onto the inside of the car here. What mods do we have in here? Well, this is the premium interior first off, which isn't a mod, but we'll start here. So you get the premium seats. These are heated and ventilated seats. And they're like a leatherette, I believe. I don't think they're the real leather, because I think the 401A package on the Mustangs of this generation had the premium leather, which was real leather. But these seats have held up really well. There's no real signs of wear. There's no like tears and things like that. The only little bit of wear, I guess, is on like the inside here, where you get in and out. Nothing too crazy, but you know, I guess it is from 2018, so there's not going to be exactly perfect, but they have held up very well. So getting into kind of the mods that I've done on the interior, the first thing would be this steering wheel cover. This is actually a leather wrapped steering wheel cover, which is sewn on actually. I did a video on this, which was a pain in the butt to install, I'll be honest with you guys. It took a long time and a lot of patience, but it was definitely worth it. This leather feels awesome in the hand, and it's completely removable. So if you don't like it, or you don't like the stitching choices I did here, I did red, white, and blue because, you know, America. But I did that on here. If you don't like that, you can take this off, obviously. But I think it adds a little bit more sportiness to the car. I also did the paddle shift extensions here, which are aluminum paddle shift extensions. Which definitely help out. You know, it increases kind of the range at which you can shift the transmission when you're driving, instead of these little dinky ones they give you from the factory. We also have some carbon fiber overlays here, which we did carbon fiber around the trim here around the radio and the controls. Did carbon fiber on these here as well. Which, you know, these all just come completely off. So if you don't like that, you can peel these all off. You know, I can do it too before sale if you don't like it, but we did carbon fiber around here as well. And then a carbon fiber kind of outlined here around the cup holders. So just a little bit on the interior, nothing crazy. More so on the performance side of things, I do have the Cobb access port mounted on this side of the car, which you probably won't be able to see that well from that angle. But it is mounted over here in the vent, and that is where all the fun is. That's where I monitor the car, obviously, and we'll get more into that when I talk about the mods under the hood. But you will get this with the tunes on it that I have from PD Tuning. So other than that, back seats, great shape, barely ever sat in for the amount of time I've owned the vehicle anyway, and great condition there. So I think let's get under the hood, because that's where the fun is, and we'll start talking about those mods and the condition of the car there. Well, moving on to the performance parts under the hood, which is obviously the most exciting part of this whole video. We'll go through them here. So starting off, the first thing I really did on the car was a drop-in filter. So you're going to get that drop-in air filter stock box, because at the time the AIRAID intake tube, which is the next mod I did, and the drop-in filter was proven to be the most like efficient way of increasing power and allowing you to run, you know, aftermarket tunes. Now the Roush setup, that's closed box, the closed box Roush intake is actually proven to be like the most, you know, most bang for the buck power-wise and efficiency. So there's that, but this is a very nice way to go if you want to retain the stock airbox, which Ford engineers actually did a pretty good job on. But anyways, we have that drop-in filter, AIRAID intake tube, and then moving down, we also have this TurboSmart blow-off valve. This is the EM series blow-off valve, and it's tucked way down inside there, so it's kind of hard to see. But that means it's fully electronically controlled. So there's really nothing you have to do there in terms of, you know, switching out springs to to adjust boost pressures, things like that. There's nothing you have to do. It's completely controlled by the car, but it gives you that really cool blow-off valve sound. So we have that on the vehicle as well. And then what you'll see up top, I did add the S&R, I believe, strut tower brace, which you wouldn't think it, but it helps handling in these vehicles considerably. I really didn't think this was going to do that much in terms of performance, but it really does. So that was a really cool one that I'm leaving on the car here for you as well. And then we do have the JLT 3.0 catch can, which a catch can on these EcoBoosts are really important to have. And this one has done great. I'll actually show you how much I've collected from this catch can over the last couple years of doing oil changes and owning this car, which it's pretty incredible. So I'll show you that now. Jumping over here, I did replace a couple little maintenance bits here as well. So like the fuel pressure sensor, a lot of people are concerned with that, which that was one of the first videos I did on this car, is actually replacing that fuel pressure sensor, which if you don't, that can lead to having some issues in the future. So it's a really good idea to do that. And since that's been done, I haven't had any issues regarding that at all. I do have the CVF Street Intercooler on the car, which is super hard to see, so you can't really see it from this angle. If you drop way down and you look through the lower grille, you would be able to see it just a little bit, the big silver thing in there, which especially in Georgia and running any sort of aftermarket tunes, an intercooler is a must on these cars. The factory unit is really small and it heat soaks extremely quick. So the street version of this CVF intercooler has been awesome. It's allowed me to run the PD tunes, which are a complete pro tune, and it's completely transformed the car. So definitely one of the best mods I've ever done on this thing would be that CVF Street Intercooler. Now, the whole thing that wraps it all together is the tunes. So that's with that Cobb access port again. So you're gonna get the access port itself, and I do have the lifetime tuning package with Ryan at PD Tuning. This car is running a custom tune or a pro tune, which will actually get you two files. So I have a 93 octane tune and an E30 tune. The E30 tune on this car is fantastic. I absolutely love it. A lot of performance you get with that one. But you do have to mix it. So at times you don't want to mix your E30 and you're just going on a road trip, or you just want to pump 93 normal pump gas, run that 93 tune, and it is awesome. Ryan does a great job at that. I am contacting him now to see how that works in terms of if you want to add parts to this, if you choose to buy this car, how you can take advantage of that lifetime tuning as well. So I will update you if you are serious about it. We'll talk about all that and figure something out. But the tune is on the car and it is fantastic. So not much else under the hood here to talk about. We didn't go too crazy with everything. I am running the 6510 NGK spark plugs, which are kind of a necessity when you're pro tuned. So there's that. But really, aside from that, the car is just as it came from the factory. Ooh, that hood is super hot. Oh my God. Whoa, that's hot, guys. Well, that has been all the mods. I think I got everything. I think I covered everything, but this has been a great car, and I've had a lot of fun with it. So 2018 Mustang EcoBoost, 70,000 miles, just about, probably a little over that depending on when you're seeing this. But yeah, it's been a great car. I am gonna be selling it, like I said, with all these mods on it. And if you're interested, just contact me via email. I'll put that down in the video description. You guys can contact me that way. Hopefully you're here in Georgia. That would make it a ton easier. But yeah, we'll just go from there. And it's been awesome to be able to share it with you guys. But the fun doesn't stop here. We're gonna get that 2024 GT and have a ton of fun with it. But yeah, as far as this car is concerned, of course, if you have questions or you're interested in purchasing, shoot me an email. My email is in the video description, so you guys can check it out there. Otherwise, Instagram, stuff like that, you guys can comment and, hit me up there. We'll figure something out. So the asking price that I'm going to be putting on this car here is $22,000. I think that's fair with all the mods that's on the car right now. That allows you guys to get a little bit of a deal on that. But yeah, if you're interested, just let me know. But guys, thanks so much for coming with me on the journey with the EcoBoost, and kind kind of bittersweet. But you guys have a great day, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye.